New year, new me? Oh no. New year, same Ron, still getting real and still getting to know some good people and really get to know who they are. My name is Ronald E. Smith, and today my guest is someone that around the island, she's known pretty well. But if you don't know what she's done, let me lay it out a few tiny things about her. She has worked up towards the 40 original TV shows, a 2-time Shorty Award winner, and her work has been featured across Marvel, MTV, Glamour, and so much more. But also, believe it or not, she's a dang good singer. The only person I could be talking about is MTV social media manager own Kristen Maldonado. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? That was a great introduction. Thank you.
That's the one thing I work the hardest on. I want to make sure I give all my guests the proper respect they deserve.
Yeah, you did some good research. So when you brought up the singing, I'm like, oh, wow, you really looked into it.
I keep everyone on the toes is what I do. Now here again, real Kristen. Here, we love just to, whether they be, whether it be a YouTube creator, cosplayer, musician, and we just want to know who you are, your passion, your drive, and just know what makes you do what you do. And I think we just got to start from the beginning because through it all, through your resume, you've been mostly a lot in the entertainment news.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go where it all began. Like, where did it all start with you?
Well, I grew up doing a lot of musical theater. So that's really, I feel like, where my kind of passion for all of that came from. You know, I love musical theater, that I love singing, I loved movies and TV, and that kind of like, you know, passion just for like that kind of entertainment industry, I think really stems from that. Like not only just performing myself, but also just like learning about what goes into a performance, finding out kind of like those hidden Easter eggs, or, you know, learning those fun facts about like how people put a song together, how people put a movie together, or how people put a TV show together. So yeah, that's definitely like was a big passion for me. And I kind of more got into the entertainment space when I was in college because I was a theater major, and I was kind of trying to figure out like what do I want to do, because I also had an interest in like writing and journalism and stuff. And so I was like, you know what, maybe I can combine my love for like entertainment, musicals, movies, TV, and talking a lot about those things. And so I ended up joining like the radio station in my college, and I switched my major to journalism, and I just tried to get all these internships in the entertainment space, like whether it was, you know, Marvel Comics or you know, Teen Nick, or, you know, just anything in the entertainment space, so I could see kind of what I was interested in.
Going back, you said that you were a theater major.
Mm-hmm.
So, but do you remember what show or what music really like caught your eye about like, wow, I really want to do this?
I was the kind of person that I was really shy and really quiet. But I would sing in the shower, and my mom would hear me.
I get that.
And my mom would hear me, and she was like, you know, maybe this would be something that would help you get out of your shell a little bit. So she signed me up for a theater class, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, I'd be terrified. And in the class, I remember I met like one or two kids, and we became fast friends. And then in the class, they were like, oh, we're having auditions for this musical that like we just need some ensemble people. It was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I was like, well, I don't know, but my friend was gonna do it, so I said, you know what, I'll just audition too. And I feel like once I did that, it kind of just like flipped this whole switch where I was in the show, and then all of a sudden I became a regular, and I was like just constantly doing shows in like middle school and high school. And I think that's definitely like kind of what really set it off, was really my mom signing me up for this class, because before I would sing on my own, in the shower in our house, but not thinking that it could be anything.
So I mean, like, I would say, like, for a lot of people, we're shy, like, we don't know who we are yet, but also, too, for you, you said that your mother kind of, in her own way, kind of, like, forced you upon to get into this, because basically she just wanted you to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
She felt like this would get you out your shell.
Yes.
Did you feel that you needed this? Because, like, growing up before, you were always maybe the quiet one in your class?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I mean, in my school, people still thought I was quiet, but I knew that I was doing my own thing outside of school and kind of finding myself. And I definitely think that helped me get to where I am now. And like now, I would not say I'm a shy person, but it's crazy to think that back then I was.
So then, when you got into college and you joined the theater, you also were still trying to find yourself about what career path you wanted to go towards. While also, too, with journalism, and like I said earlier in the intro, you just went off on a whole speed run of just joining internships. Like News 12, Jesse Media, your writing intern, the Contributing News, the Marvel Web editorial intern, Nicktoons. You just kept pushing.
Yeah, because I had I had this fear that, you know, I didn't change my major till junior year, like the end of junior year. And I was like, what am I gonna do now? Am I gonna be able to even get a job? Because I ended up staying an extra semester because I switched so late. And so I was like, well, I just have to like try to get every possible internship I can in the time that I have left. So like every single semester, every summer, every break, I was just like signing up for internships, trying to get internships to get experience. And honestly, I feel like that's where I really got my most experience and my most knowledge. Like, you learn stuff in college, but like I
Right.
think the hands-on stuff is really where I learned, what I wanted, what I was interested, what I wanted to do. Because at the school that I went to, and I don't know if this is still the same, but just in general, I feel like if you're in the journalism field, people really are focused on hard news and they don't really care about entertainment that much. And I remember the school that I was at, they just kind of, you know, didn't take entertainment seriously. So I had to really go out of my way to make sure that if I wanted to be in that space, because that's what I love, that I had to find it myself. And I was like, well, I'm going to try to take every opportunity I possibly can.
But did you ever feel overwhelmed? Because a lot of this stuff, like what, 4 months, 10 months, 4 months, 7 months, like a lot of it was like corresponded with each other.
Hmm.
Plus, about what you also did in your college in Hofstra.
I think that everybody in college, you feel overwhelmed because you're like trying to, you know, get a job and you're trying to, do as much as you possibly can. And I'm the kind of person I like to multitask. I like to do a lot of different things at once. I don't think that it was ever like too much, where like I had too many things going on at once. I think, sometimes certain things would die down a little bit and I'd focus on one and then the other one would pick up and I'd focus on another. So I just, it was more about like managing time and, again, just trying to take every opportunity. And I think like, especially as, a Hispanic woman, just something that was always kind of instilled in me by my parents is like, you got to work harder than everybody else.
Very true.
Some advice that I've gotten in the past from like internships was just kind of like, there's some people that it just comes easily for them and they don't have to work as hard. But for everyone else, like, you have to really go above and beyond and put in as much effort as possible because it's not going to just be handed to you. Like not everyone has it like super easily. So I always was kind of like, I have to do as much as I possibly can.
Were you ever worried when you did switch majors, worrying and pushing off for all this stuff? Did you ever feel that it may not work and you may have to be like, I might have to start over again for something completely else?
I mean, yeah, I was really scared. I think a lot of it though was more superficial fears of like, oh, I'm graduating a semester later than everyone. Oh, like I'm gonna be behind. Like, what if I don't get a job right out of school? Like, and more like appearance type of things that don't aren't real, and that like you kind of have to just remember like everybody has their own journey and their own path, and they do things in different ways. And
Right.
if you have a dream or like a goal of something, like why would you have that if you couldn't do it eventually? Like, even if you don't do it at the same pace as someone else. So that was kind of my thought process because I remember like thinking like, oh no, I'm graduating a semester later than everyone else. And then I had to try to format that in my head and be like, okay, well, realistically though, is this really that bad? Now I'm graduating in December. That's actually a better time for the job market for people. Nobody's really thinking like, oh, you graduated a semester later. Oh, that's so bad. Like, that's just stuff that I was kind of putting on myself of like appearance things that didn't end up really even mattering. Being like, oh, am I going to get a job? And like, yeah, you're going to get one, it's going to happen.
And I know exactly what you're speaking about, especially being a person of color for myself, and just like how your parents raised you to think and push you. Same goes with my parents. Like always believing you got to work 10 times harder than the person next to you, because when you're sleeping, they're working. So you can't stop. And it doesn't matter the roadblocks that are in front of you. You just got to push towards it. Because just like you, I graduated late. I had to take another class at another school for myself because I was wondering where I would be. But it never stopped me because my drive to get where I want to be grew in me. Like it just told me this is not over. It's not over until we say it's over.
Exactly.
And look at you. Because of that, it led you to bigger places. So then let's just talk about too, how did you get to where you are right now with your job in MTV?
Yeah, for sure. So one of my last internships that I did was at Teen Nick / Nicktoons, which is a Viacom company. And once I finished that internship, I was trying to connect with the HR people and just be like, now that I'm done, is there anyone else I could talk to just about like what they do? Because, I'd love to learn more. And so they connected me with 2 or 3 other people from different companies within Viacom, and only one person got back to me. And he worked at MTV, and he was really nice. And I'm the kind of person that like, you got to bring your resume if you go meet someone, even though I was just meeting him to learn about what he does.
Yes, that's smart.
Like I wasn't being like, can you help me get a job? Because I think, I just want to learn about what does he do? Like, what could I do more in the entertainment industry? Like maybe there's other things. And he was like, well, we don't have a position now, but like, give me your resume. And actually I know like there's another position on another MTV team that like you should apply for. And so I applied for it, did not get it. And then he reached out to me again and was like, actually, now we have a position open. Would you want to like apply for that? And I was like, yes. So I did an edit test. He was really great. And I ended up getting the job. And it was actually different than what my job is now. Originally, it was, so I worked on the MTV show's social team. And basically, we would watch the shows on MTV, and we would put them up on the MTV website. So kind of like, if you were to watch a show on ABC or you were to watch a show on Netflix's like site, like they're the ones that put it on the site. So we were the ones that would put it on the MTV website, and we would like make flip books or photo books, and we would put up like sneak peek clips and stuff.
Y'all did that. Oh.
Yeah. So we're like, so if you go on like the website, like how does the episode get there for you to watch? We were the ones that put it there. And then eventually over time, like the social team was kind of like, hey, you guys watch all these episodes. Maybe you should like run the social pages since you have to watch every single show anyway. And so it kind of like fell into this position where like, not only were we then building out the pages so people could watch the episodes, but we were running the social accounts. And then eventually over time, it kind of morphed into we were just running the social accounts and coming up with a strategy and stuff. And there was like a whole other team that would build out these pages. And then over time, I've kind of moved around. I was on MTV and MTV2 shows. I went over to TRL, and now I work on the MTV brand team. So we do mostly like the actual MTV brand accounts themselves, whereas previously I was doing like, Catfish or Wild 'N Out or Girl Code. I mean, there was so many shows that like I started in 2013, so like in the last 7 years that I worked on, and those were definitely some really fun ones. But yeah, so now I work on like the brand itself, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool opportunities working like award shows and working with talent, and those are things that I really enjoy doing. I feel like actually that brings me back to my like journalism background, because I have to go get the story, I have to like capture the content with someone, or like and so I really enjoy that.
So do you feel then that long road that you said before of you trying to hustle and push forward helped you your experience what you're going through right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we kind of go through, and the jobs or the things that we work on all kind of, you know, come together to help you with other things. So, like the fact that I was doing radio, or the fact that I was like working interning at Marvel and stuff, like they all kind of, I think, helped me get to where I am, and just learn more things. And I feel like even like the stuff I do at my job now, like we're creating content. And I also do that on my own as well. So like all of it kind of like, just all of my interests kind of are very similar and relate to each other and help each other, so that I can like learn more and, be able to grow and like do better at what I like to do.
It's easy to, to get complacent, when you feel that you did it. For a lot of people, when they feel like they made it or they got that job they always wanted, but then they feel that I'm here, I've done so much, but then I feel like I'm not passionate about it anymore because there's nothing left for me. Has that ever crept in your mind?
I don't really think so. I mean, sometimes, everyone gets burnt out, I think, just from anything they're working on. If you're watching a million movies because you review them, or you're watching a million shows because you're working on something, like, I think, a lot of people could, you can get burnt out doing anything. But I think overall, like, this is something that is like so deeply rooted in me that like, I just love entertainment, and I don't think I will ever get tired of it, because there's so many different aspects of it, whether it's, working on the social media, creating videos, working red carpets, or, just watching TV shows. Like, I just think that there's like so many like facets to it that, like sometimes I go on little rounds of like, oh, I'm really into movies right now. Oh, I'm really into reading right now. Oh, I'm really into music right now. And I think there's just so much in the entertainment space that, like, I don't know, I just don't get tired of it.
That's called a passion. That's called that. This is just something I love to do, and I don't get bored of it. I just love doing this.
I mean, it's a fun thing,
No, that's cool.
Fun.
And I think too, because of course you're reaping rewards. Because explain to me too about the rewards y'all have received, the Shorty Awards. You won that a couple of times. Can you explain to me what are they?
Yeah. So basically, the Shorty Awards are like an internet type of awards show where they honor like the best creators. Some of it is actual influencers, and some of them are like more businesses and organizations. And so last year we won for best overall Twitter presence for TRL on Twitter, and that was really cool, especially because like, it was a huge group effort putting all of that together. But I was like working on TRL originally, like kind of building it from the ground up before we like had this awesome team that came together. And so it was just cool to see that, like, I don't know, this whole journey that we went on like amounted to this, and it was really cool. And then this past year we won for best use of IGTV with this series that, like, this one was really like a grassroots one. Like, it was like me and three or four other people that worked together on this digital series called 60-Second Draw, where basically a celebrity would come in and they would draw their album or single cover in 60 seconds or less. It was mostly musicians. And it was, it's funny because they're trying to draw, and like some of them are really good and some of them are really not good. And there's, they have 60 seconds to try to make something, or try to remember, like, what did this look like? And then we would have them sign it, and we actually gave them all away, which was really cool to, big fans of theirs. That was a really awesome one because, it was when IGTV first came out, and we're trying to figure out, like, how do we take advantage of this platform that,
right,
is new, and can we do something really cool with it? And we just tapped into this, like, audience that was really passionate about it. I think we did about 5 or 6 of them on the TRL handle, and they each got like 1 million views, and we were like, oh my God, like, what?
That's big time right there.
Yeah, it was like crazy. And so then after we won that award, that was really cool. They moved the show over to MTV's platform because it was doing so well. So that was really awesome. Just to see like that this idea that we kind of came up with, like, when not a lot was going on, we did it ourselves. We, like, a lot of times, when we were working on the show, there was a lot of times we were just using stuff that, like, the show itself had captured. So this was something that we kind of did on our own. we shot it ourselves, we edited it ourselves, we, pitched it ourselves. Like, just everything was like it felt very personal because, there was just a small group of us that really put this together. So it was really cool.
And this social media team is normally the amount about what, like 10 people, 12 people?
This was when I was working on TRL, so we were only 4 people. That was including
4
me.
people?
Yeah, 4 or 5 people that put this together. But now the team that I'm on, we're like almost 20 people. Like there's a lot.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but that for that specific project, yeah, it was like a smaller group, and it was a really cool experience.
So how did it feel like getting that reward level? That you got all of you guys like showing that your hard work did pay off, and just having it right there. Like how did that end result feel?
Oh my God, it felt amazing. Like it just felt like, wow, we can like celebrate this win as a team, that we did something that people at our job like noticed did well, and that they wanted to, honor that success, and that, this, awards show like thought it was really good too, and they picked it, because just because you enter doesn't mean that they'll choose you. So that was really cool, just to even get that recognition. And we got to take home this really cool award that looks like a little whale fin, and it sits at our desks around us, and we can look at it every day. We have a little picture of us holding it in front of it.
That's it. That's dope. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So with all that, can you say that everything that you've done has been worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, this is still like, it's still just the beginning.
Of course.
There's still so many things that I can't wait to do, or that I hope will happen. And, just opportunities that I'm open to, I'm open to everything.
I'm talking to Kristen Maldonado. If you love what she's talking about, or you're interested to see what she's been doing in her life, go ahead and follow her on Instagram at KMalda1. If you want to see how she's feeling, go on Twitter at KMaldo. And if you really want to get to know her a little bit better, I recommend you follow her on her YouTube channel, Kristen Maldonado. And we just talked about YouTube. And I think that's a good time. Let's just go into all that.
Yeah.
Because about YouTube, me looking more into you about your YouTube career, before you are where you are now at 9,000 subscribers, you go back to the beginning and you see how your channel was. That's what I did. I looked at your beginnings.
Yeah.
And seeing how you are now to then, it's like a coin, like 2 sides. Let's just talk about that. Let's talk about that journey for YouTube career of what got you to start YouTube and what made you stay on it.
Yeah. So, I was a journalism major, and when I went to panels and stuff, one of the things that they would say a lot that really stuck with me was like, nobody's going to give you the opportunity. Nobody's going to just like be like, yeah, come be on camera. You have to make your own opportunity. Like they would suggest things like, if you're interested in being on camera, go cover something yourself and like make your own reel. It doesn't have to be like a real event. Like you could just like go do stand up somewhere, or like, go to a movie theater and like ask people questions, or like do something like that and just create your own content. And I was like, well, I don't know. That's kind of scary to put yourself out there. What if people think it's
always
lame?
Scary.
Yeah. What if people think it's lame? What if people think like, why is she doing that? It's not even good. And I was like, well, I have to take this risk. Like, I want to be on camera. I want to talk about entertainment. I want to, create my own thing, So I started making videos. I don't know if they were like super great, but I always said to myself, the one thing that was really important to me was to like show my personality. So I personally think, I don't know if you agree, but I personally think that if you go back from the beginning, even if the quality is not quite there, I think my personality is still the same.
Oh no, it's completely there. I see the Kristen I see now, but I also see the growth from her. Because like, especially times when you were looking at the video and I see you took a lot of pauses, but you still had that oof of energy boosting out.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I didn't really know what I was doing. Honestly, I feel like I didn't know what I was doing until like the last year or two, which I'm like, what was I doing all this time? But I just decided like, okay, I want to do videos on entertainment. I want to do, make my own content. Let me just try it. So I started making videos. Sometimes I had no idea what I was doing, so I would just make videos on anything. So some videos are on pop culture, some I do like reviews of makeup or stuff, and I was just trying to figure out like, who am I? Like, what am I doing? And in the last, couple of years, I've kind of figured out like, okay, now I know what my niche is. I know exactly what I'm doing. I can expand upon it in different ways. There are ways that, I used to do some DIY videos, and I haven't done as many anymore, but I've attempted to add some more recently. And I just feel like if it has a pop culture twist to it, then like I can find a way to make it work how on my channel. But that's kind of like the main root of it is all like in that idea of pop culture, movies, music, even if it doesn't work all the time, I'm trying to show the things that I enjoy, and see if it works on my channel. If it doesn't, I might pivot or do something different, but just always like learning and growing and trying to take classes and trying to learn from other creators, and, joining like, there's so many good Facebook groups out there that just like, you can really get a lot of insight into like, what could I be working on?
And you with that, because like YouTube is that you have to like play around with it, figure out what works with you. What do I need to improve on? Okay, this works right over here. All right, how can I improve myself and not be stagnant with it?
Mm-hmm.
But with that too, I see that on your channel through your growth, like you've got these experiences of dealing with negativity, like anybody else, That's the whole point of YouTube. Like you said, you put yourself out there, and people are gonna like you, and then the people aren't gonna like you. So how are you able to take that all in and not allow it to like stop you from continuing YouTube?
Yeah, well, my kind of mindset on that is, first of all, that like everyone has different opinions. So like, to me, the whole enjoyment of creating this video is that I get to share what I think, and then I want you to tell me what you think. And I don't care if you agree with me. For me, the whole thing is the conversation, and that's why my kind of like motto on my channel is where pop culture meets community, because to me it's really about the community. I want to hear what other people think, and I don't care if they agree with me. I mean, it'd be nice if they were nice about it, but I don't care.
Wouldn't we all like that?
And to me, like, some of the best conversations I'll have with people, because I try to reply to like literally everyone, but some of my favorite conversations are like when we don't necessarily agree, but then we can find a common ground and be like, okay, well, that's cool. I see your side on this, but I don't see your side on that, like, and kind of like we can agree to disagree or kind of see each other's sides. And I think when it comes to like actual negativity, most of the time it doesn't bother me, because I kind of shrug it off as like,
Just being a jerk.
Like, not even that, but just, people have different opinions, or, kill them with kindness. So like there's there's times when I've gotten trolls that are like, I actually had one once where they were like, you look like a pig, and I said, pig. And I said, well, pigs are cute, so thank you. And then they were like, they were like, oh wow, that's great that you don't let like trolls get to you. I was just kidding, love your channel. And I was like, all right.
word, okay, cool story.
Yeah, I just don't agree with any racism, anti-feminist types of language.
If you're gonna dislike what I do or disagree with what I say, that's fine. We can talk about it. But if you're gonna go deep into a corner and go in places just to get me a rise out of me, that means okay, you don't want to have a conversation. You just want to be an idiot. So I was gonna say peace out. All right, don't leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
And then into with your channel, because I've seen, like you said, you took the initiative for yourself to put out more of your interviews, which I've seen you talk to like big people,
Oh, thank you.
And like, yeah, oh come on, like how can you not say I saw you talk to Viola Davis, Chloe Grace, Moretz, and I was shocked by this one real quick, because I completely forgot about her. JoJo?
Oh my God, my queen!
Like, wait, what? Miss Get Out, Leave? It's the end of You and Me? What? Like, that's pretty cool right there.
Yeah, that was probably my first on-camera interview ever, so it's really embarrassing. I think my interviewing skills have gotten a lot better.
Oh, okay, look. See, and that's the one thing I love looking back at old videos from creators, is seeing the growth. Because you have totally changed in the most positive way, because how are you not going to learn, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is so cool for you, because this is stuff that you want to grow with yourself. Because, like, do you see yourself hosting shows? Like, do you want to see yourself hosting the Oscars, the Golden Globes, or maybe just have your own show on, like, ABC?
I mean, that would be awesome. That'd be crazy.
But also, too, with a positive YouTube, there's also the negative. You know, the algorithm can go all over the place.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And it sometimes makes it harder for a lot of creators to stay on and continue to do it, or just quitting and say, you know what, it's not even worth it, because honestly, no one's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever experienced any of that?
I mean, I definitely think there are times when I've like doubted myself or doubted my channel. You know, there's sometimes where it's just like, when you really think about it, like, what is this algorithm? This is something people made up. Like, you know, all of these, when you really think about it, like, all of these things online are just things that, like, there's someone choosing what to focus on behind the scenes to program things to make certain things work and not work. So sometimes you can't like dig too deep into it. It's just kind of like, we'll try our best. But there are things, you know, obviously that you can do to try to make your content be found. And this past year, I was trying to, you know, just like dive more into that, taking courses, trying to change up what I'm doing and be a little bit different than what I see everywhere. And, you know, like, I mean, one of the things that I started doing was changing my titles.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just do, like, you know, what's a TV show? Or like Jumanji the Next Level movie review, and that's it. And there's just so many of those that I was like, well, is there something that I could do that, like, you know, it'll still come up when you search, but maybe the title will entice you a little bit more to click than just Jumanji movie review, because that's what everyone else already has up. You know, or just trying to think about, like, is there something else I can do besides a review? So, like, for the show You that just came out, you know, I did my review, and then I was like, but there's so much, like, more to talk about.
A lot more to talk about that show.
Yeah, and so then I did, like, okay, well, let's break down, like, the big twists and the endings. Like, let me, like, sit and, like, really, like, I'm doing, like, freaking research. Like, I'm looking up book titles. I'm looking up, like, all this stuff that's in the show and trying to, like, connect it to things and see, like, can I figure out, you know, who's Joe's new neighbor? Like, explaining this big twist that happened.
If you find out, please tell me, because I gotta know too.
Right. And just doing things like that that's a little bit, you know, different than what I normally do. You know, there's other people that do videos like this also, but that for me is something, you know, that is a little bit different than I do on a regular basis. It, first of all, just makes me feel like, wow, okay, I can put something like this together. I can, like, you know, put together a heavily researched video and feel like, well, maybe I made, like, some smart choices in, like, some of the theories that I came up with or something. And also just, like, you know, it's something that people are searching, you know, or it's something that people will watch through a little bit longer and help that watch time, so that, you know, maybe people will get to the next video. So, like, the big twists ending explain video that I ended up doing a couple of days ago, it got like 47,000 views, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what did I do for this video that was so different than all my other ones? Like my High School Musical reviews that has 300 views, you know, like, you know, and it just, that's kind of stuff like that does make me, like, question the algorithm, but also feel excited to, like, try to create more things that maybe will do well, or things that people want to check out and we can talk about it together. Because, you know, like I said, I reply to everybody. I want to, like, hear, what is your theory, even if you don't agree with me, or what is your thoughts on this show? I just think that that's really fun.
But see, because I know you probably do experience the same thing I experienced, when you got an idea, you put it out there, right? And you record yourself, you upload it to your computer, and the real work begins with your editing. You edit for so long, you know, sometimes you might even reach an error in the editing system. And then you're like, oh crud, I gotta start over again. And then when you get all that done, you upload it. You're like, all right, here we go. And like you said before, you look at one video you did, worked so hard, barely anybody saw this. Like only like what, 200, maybe 100 people saw this.
Mm-hmm.
But then another one you do cracks over 20K. You know, do you ever feel like the work between you're like, I see this person over there and their videos is like barely half the work that I do. You know, how are they getting over 50 million? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why am I even trying?
I mean, I think everybody feels like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like that sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, well, is it worth it to even do this video? Is anyone going to care? And I think the whole thing is, part of it, yeah, is obviously for other people because you want to talk to them or you want to, be creating something that people are going to watch. But also I think there is a part of it that's just like for you, like, are you proud of what you made? Even if not a million people saw it, like you still created something. And that's like an accomplishment, like I think everybody feels like that. And, I think that kind of goes back to one of the things I was saying before of just like everybody is at their own pace kind of thing. So just because maybe someone else did a video like you and theirs did better, it's easy to just fall into like, well, I have the same tags. How come my video didn't do as well? And it's like, well, there's a lot of different reasons, or also there's like no reason. And it's just like, maybe that wasn't the video that was for you, but then maybe the next one will be. Or, it's kind of like, it all kind of like comes together as it's supposed to. And then I don't know if there's really a rhyme and reason sometimes with the analytics and stuff.
Never
but
is,
it's just,
no.
But I think if you just love it and sometimes people get burnt out, like I said, and then you take a break for a little bit and then, come back and keep creating.
Have you ever experienced that?
I've had times where just like I was busy. So maybe for like a month or two, a couple of years ago, I didn't really have many videos or, when there are times even when I feel like I'm not doing enough, honestly. Like there was a towards the end of this year. Yeah, towards the end of this year, I had a video a week, I think, but for some reason I kept being like, I didn't do any videos. I didn't make anything. And I'm like, well, no, technically if you look back, I did like there's a lot of videos here, but I guess I feel like, especially in like the kind of niche that I'm in, it's like there's always something new to watch. So if I didn't watch it, I'm late and oh, that person did the video and I didn't, and you can just like get so caught up in comparing yourself with other people. And I think to a certain extent it could be okay to do that in terms of like, let's say you're like doing research on your competitors and you're saying, okay, well, what does this person do? I don't like that, but I like this. Is there a way that I can kind of tap into what they're not doing to make my stuff better? And just like doing research and analyzing, which I think that makes sense. But I do think that there is a part of it like we can't, you got to step back, I guess, and just be like, well, just because someone was on YouTube for 3 years and they have this many viewers and I've been on for 6 years and I only have this many, everybody kind of goes at their own pace.
But that is a normal feeling that I guarantee you a lot of other YouTubers experience, especially whatever community you reside in. You can't help but to look at your colleagues and your competitors, compare yourself to them. But like you said, you can't allow that to destroy you or to wrap your mind and be like, this guy over here is boosting out 5 videos in less than a week. I can't do that. Or you look over to her and you say, oh my gosh, like this whole month, she's just done nothing but constant videos and I barely gotten 3 out. And I think that is a fear we always do, because then it just mentally destroys you. Then it just destroys your confidence and then you just don't want to do it anymore. But like you said, it's in the end of the day, it's about passion.
Yeah, and I think there is something to that of like, there are people that are going to see like, oh, I'm not getting the amount of views that I want, or I'm not, they're comparing themselves to someone else, and then they'll just quit because they're like, I'm not. I think that there is a misconception a little bit on YouTube, or not even just YouTube, but just on social media in general, that like it's easy to make a career out of it and become famous. And I see so many people, on like the Facebook groups that I'm in that just like think oh, I could do sub for sub, or like I'm gonna just make one video and I'm gonna blow up overnight and I'm gonna become a millionaire and I'm gonna be super famous,
Oh
even
man,
though like my video is me sitting in the dark, like
what world
talking
they in? I
about.
want to join that world.
But I do think that that's a thing, like that people think that it's really easy. But when you think about it, being a content creator is literally being your own director, producer, editor, lighting, mic,
That's true.
lighting, sound, script writer. I know a lot of people think like, oh, it's so easy. And I mean, it's not a super difficult job if you're interested in like production and, editing. Then like, yeah, you are just filming and putting clips together. But I think that there's a lot more that goes into it that people just underestimate. And it's like, oh, well, how do people get burnt out from that? Or how do people, I mean, it also depends, I think, on what you're doing. Like if you're only doing one video a week and you don't have a full-time job because your job is just doing YouTube, but like, I'm sure there's other things people are doing also. So
Your marriage, other jobs, right?
yeah, like, I wake up early and I watch a show or I watch a movie or I watch it on the train or I watch it when I get home. Um, or I'll wake up early and I'll film and then I'll edit on the train and then I'll go to work and then I'll edit on the train more. And so it's like it does take a a certain amount of hustle to like not kind of, I guess, get tired of doing that, because it can feel like a lot of pressure to be like, okay, well, I have to watch the show first, then I have to write up my thoughts on it, then I have to wake up early and film it, then I have to go to regular work, then I have to like, also be a functioning human that has like a family and a boyfriend and like cleaning and, just like actually doing regular life things, which that's definitely something I struggle with, of like
Regular life. What calm down about that. What?
right? Like, how's there time to clean? Uh, as I'm looking at all the laundry I have to fold.
See, right there.
But I think like if you love doing it, it's I definitely think that I've learned so much from my channel and from my regular job that actually helps me with my channel, of just like, trying to create thumbnails that are more eye-catching, or trying to create titles that are interesting, or, starting with a hook before I do like the rest of my video, or trying to be a little bit more concise with my scripts, or maybe more strategic with my scripts, and being like, calling out certain moments to do certain things and bringing up cards, and just thinking about those things, because it's so easy to just like put up something and not really work on trying to make things better. And so I feel like every year I'm always like trying to make things better. And I've actually been really happy with like how things have been going in the last 2 years, because I actually was seeing a big drop on my channel, like significantly. And then as of like last year, as of 2018 and 2019, I was able to really like bring it up a lot. And actually this year was my highest on my channel. Like all the analytics doubled from the year before, which was like really cool to see that I can actually make things that people want to see, or, that people enjoy.
Work. You see, the hard work is paying off, and you're seeing like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. Why not? But that's cool though, because I think it's like whenever with every down period, there's an up period.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay on your grind, you will see that success, and clearly you've done that. And there ain't nothing but respect for everything you've done so far on YouTube and your reviews. And also too, because I was trying to figure out, are you a critic? Are you a reaction? Do you do DIY? But then I just fully understand that this is just Kristen, pop culture, pop meets community, and
well, thanks.
I like that. I like that very, very much. As you guys can tell, I'm talking to Kristen Maldonado. And the big thing too about you is also too, that's something that clearly, if anyone who's blind as day can't see, you're also Latina.
Yes.
And also with that, you're also a female YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always seen in the spaces, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the feel for that, I always look is like there's never enough respect for it, you know? As in, especially when you in reviewing movies, there's not, when I see a lot of guys go up and say, oh, I want to collab with a female YouTuber, get her 2 cents, but I don't know any. You know, there's not any female YouTubers out there, but there are. You're just not looking. You're not actually going out your way to find them. Do you feel that there is a little bit more pressure for yourself to try to be 10 times better than the guys?
I do. Yeah. I mean, not to be better, but I do feel like there is like a little bit sometimes of a, you know, a little bit easier for, you know, the Midwestern male film critic than, you know, people that are a little bit different. I feel like when I think about who's like really big in like that space on YouTube, I don't really see very many people of color, right, male or female, that are doing like film criticism that you know everyone knows about, or doing, you know, pop culture stuff. So yeah, sometimes I do kind of feel like, well, maybe if I was a white guy, it would be a little bit easier, which to me doesn't make sense, because I would think we're in a time and space where like people want to see something different, people want to see diversity, people want to see like other people's perspectives. But I do feel a lot of times that it is kind of like the same types of people. No shade on any of those people, because they're all very good. But just like realistically,
you're being honest, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, and with that too, do you ever feel that you wish some male YouTubers, if they go into a topic on a show or a movie and they don't know that much about the full topic, do you wish they would like collab more with a female YouTuber or any person of color, and reach upon them and say, hey, I would love to collab with you with that, so I can get a different perspective of it?
I mean, yeah, totally. I mean, I don't have any like real specific examples, but I do know that I've just seen like some collabs where people are, you know, breaking down like a whole thing of movies, and it's just 5, you know, white guys all together on screen, and it's like, you know, there are definitely other women out there, other people of color out there, that it would be cool just to see, like, you know, especially if you're someone that has a platform, like to bring up those other people with you, you know, like give those other people a voice as well. Especially because there are so many, and it's not even like oh, well, just because you're a person of color. It's like there are so many people of color that have things to say and that are really smart in this space. It's just like, I don't know if we really, if everyone really like gets seen.
No, that's true. And I always look at it as, you know, that's why when, you know, these other movies come out, whether it be Queen and Slim that just recently came out this year, and so many people, or even too with Captain Marvel recently, you know, those 2 films, and people could go out and say they bash Captain Marvel, right? They just bash it. And look, if a movie is not your cup of tea, that's fine, it's whatever. But when you hear people just go off and you hear one perspective of them saying of what they disliked about it, but then you hear another group of saying what they got out of it, of what that film meant to them. You know, and I've heard so many points for Captain Marvel, Queen Slim, the Harriet Tubman movie, the Harriet movie, and it was more than just a film, you know, and that's why a lot of people wanted to support it and they wanted to really understand it. But those were people of color, women. They saw stuff a lot more than a lot of the other guys, white guy males, would see on it. And yet they would, but then they would say, "But you're not really talking about the movie. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't get it." Do you feel that then there's like just a disconnect?
I mean, I think everyone definitely should feel entitled to like be able to review a movie. Like, I don't think that just because someone is not a person of color, that they can't talk about like a movie that's really huge for the new year. But I do think that like there is definitely a way to shine more spotlight on people who are from those identities, or who you know, or collabing with people like that. But like for instance, I know on my channel, like I don't always do a lot of collabs, but I do try to talk about movies that, you know, feature diverse casts and things. Like I was really into Crazy Rich Asians over the past few years, or talking about P.S. I Still Love You, because even though I guess I don't really know personally any Asian film creators, I still think that that's an important topic. So I think like that's something that I try to make a conscious effort of being like, this is why I think this representation is so important in my review. I guess it's hard, but I think that there are ways that people could like help bring awareness to other creators that maybe have something to say or something to add that they might not, we might not know, if that makes any sense.
No, it completely does. If there is a female, if there's a female YouTuber who is struggling right now, or a young girl out there who just wishes they would do what you're doing right now, what would you say to them to encourage them to try it out?
I guess I would say that you kind of just have to just do it. If you want to create something or you want to have your voice out there, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think especially for YouTube, a lot of people feel like this pressure of like, well, my videos don't look great, or I don't know if I have anything to say right now, or like, I don't know if what I'm saying like makes sense. And I think if you just like put stuff out there, like eventually you'll grow and kind of figure out what your voice is and figure out like, the kind of things you want to say and the kind of things you want to create. But I think like the big step is just like just doing it, because I think that I think for everyone, like everyone gets like a little bit of imposter syndrome. There's sometimes where I'm like, why am I making videos? Like, who am I to make this review on whatever? But it's like, you know what? If this is something I enjoy, like, just do it. Just, put yourself out there and make it.
I'm talking to Kristen Maldonado, and we have discussed and talked about some good topics. Really dived in about her career, how she does it, why she does it, the steps that she has done with it, and how she's not allowed the pitfalls to keep her down and to keep her moving. And with that too, Kristen, the last thing I really wanted to go, and I want to thank you too for giving me your time to speak with me. I've really had a good discussion with you. It's been a really good time.
You too.
I want to know right now, are there any big future things that you're looking towards for 2020? Because the brand new year, new us. We're trying to see new things, create new things. What is the future holding for you in 2020?
In 2020, what does the future hold for me? I mean, I just want to like keep growing. I just want to keep hustling, which I feel like is what I try to do every year. But, I want to just like be happy, and I have a lot of plans for my YouTube channel where I just want to keep creating and, just really trying to make a name for myself and my channel, and just like have like a strong community. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in 2020. There's a lot of really good movies and TV shows coming out, so that should be fun. And just trying to like travel more potentially.
What big places are you trying to go to? I mean, come on now, don't leave us hanging.
Oh my gosh, there's so many places I want to go. We've talked about Peru, which would be really cool because I randomly found out recently that I might have like Peruvian, like in my like I might have some Peruvian blood in me.
Whoa, what the what?
Maybe Mexico would be really cool. Maybe Thailand. My cousin is out there, so it'd be cool to visit her.
Nice. Wow. So you're looking at your 2020 is going to be very productive and adventurous if everything works out the way you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
And the last thing I got for you, Kristen, and this is the last thing I love to do with all my guests, is, as you know, on this journey, we're never alone. There's always those people that have carried us, have picked us up when we can't move no more. So right now is the shout out time. I want you to show love to those people who have been with you since the get-go. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Oh man. I mean, my family, shout out to my family, for always supporting me and encouraging me to go for my dreams and, always pushing us to work really hard. My boyfriend, Eric, for always being supportive. He bought me some new lights this Christmas, so
Good
I'm going to
man.
have some
Good
better
man.
content. Yeah, actually, it was funny. He got me lights, and then my brother got us these shirts with my channel name on them. And we were like, oh, I was like, maybe we'll wear them when we like do one of the red carpets or something.
That's dope. Yes.
Yeah, and then um just like my friends, like shout out to them. I guess in terms of any like creators, I want to give a shout out to my friend Ashley from the movie Oracle. She has collabed with me like 3 times already this past, in December, October to December, and she's awesome. So that it was really cool this year just to like try to work with other creators. I never really collabed much before at all, so working with her was really cool. I collabed with Sean Chandler from Sean Chandler Talks About, and that was really cool because he has so much information and just knowledge about being a critic and creating YouTube videos and stuff. Austin Burke, he had me on his channel as well, doing like an Oscars type of video, like his own version of the Oscars. So that was really cool. Yeah, this was just a couple people just giving a little shout out to.
Right up 3 good people right there. Good souls right there.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to you for having me on your show.
Stop it now! You better stop it right now. All right, come on now, don't do that. There ain't no worries about that. I gotta show love to the LI. Come on now. And the only thing I got for you before I let you bounce though is I want you to tell that young Kristen who didn't know herself then to what she is now. What can you say to her as you are the person that you are right now?
I would say that I'm really proud of you because I don't know if you knew that you could do any of the things that you're doing. And, oh man, you're getting me emotional. My eyes are not watering up. I think I got some dust in them. But no, like, I didn't really think that I would have the kind of life that I have right now. Not even just like things that that I'm doing like career wise, but just like, I just think that something that I've been thinking a lot about in the last like year is just being grateful because there's so many other people that like don't have the luxury to live the lives that we live here in New York or, in America that are really struggling. And like, when you think about it, like we're so lucky to have been born here at this time when like not everything is perfect, but like we have the internet, like we have a lot of
reach.
We have a lot of reach and just a lot of like things that people don't have. Like not everybody has a bed or like a bathroom or a house, like there's people that don't have those things. And so I've really been trying in the last year to just be mindful of like being grateful because it's so easy to be like, oh, well, I'm not where I want to be, or, oh, I don't like this, or, oh, like, I wish that I was doing this, or comparing yourself to other people. And, those are things that are real and that, people feel that. And I think everyone deals with that, but just like kind of remembering to like be grateful for the things you do have and like looking back and being like, wow, look at how much I have accomplished. Because it's so easy to like, I try to do this every like new year, like look back at like, what did I do? Because it's so easy to be like, I didn't do anything. And it's like, no, but you did. Like everybody's done something. Everyone has accomplished anything. Even if it's just like waking up, like you got out of bed and you did something,
Blessed to see another day. Yeah, that's an accomplishment right there.
Yeah. So.
Ooh, we just got to be, man. That was a good way right there.
We're getting deep.
And that is how I leave all of y'all hanging. My name is Ronald E. Smith. This is Kristen Maldonado. And y'all, I think we just got real. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you again.